And we are back, and we just finished watching 2024's Blink Twice as we wrap up the month of women's history. I'm proud that we did all women director movies this month, so yay for us.
Yeah.
This is from Zoe Kravitz, from a script by Zoe Kravitz and E.T. Feigenbaum. I apologize if I said that incorrectly.
Are they initials E.T. or?
Yeah, initials E.T. This is rated R, clocks in at an hour and 42 minutes, but to Gigi's point, could have used 20 to 30 minutes less and would have been a probably better movie. I think the kernel of the story here was really good. It just took a little too long to get there.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie spent way too much time sort of
showing
setting up. Yeah. Oh, we're having a great time. Look at all these people. They're fun. They're rich. They're exciting. Ooh, look, we're going to an island. And now we're going to party for 4 days straight until something bad. Was it 4 days?
It could have been like a month. There was no sense of time here.
I think it was longer than 4 days.
Yeah, I think it was longer than 4 days.
No. I think the four. Right? It was after the 4 days that the friends started realizing something was wrong, and then there was more days after that occurred. Mm-hmm. So it was more than 4. They were there for at least a week.
It was really hard to tell the passage of time.
I think that was intentional.
Agreed.
That was probably a good aspect of the movie, that you kind of lose track of time just like they did. Mm-hmm. But 4 days of just everybody partying and laughing and running,
that could have been a montage that could have been shortened to X amount of time.
Yeah. You could have definitely shaved off at least 20, 25, 30 minutes.
Agreed. And I think the other thing, and that hurts the film, because I think the other thing is, I was interested in the beginning, then it sort of meandered. I got sleepy, but it picks up at the end.
Yeah, once the conflict arises, it's actually really interesting and
well done.
Well done, yeah.
Yeah, so kudos to Zoe Kravitz on her first time out as a director. I think it's not without its flaws, but it's not a bad film. It's kind of decent.
It's very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
There's some money behind those camera work.
Yes,
the camera
I
work
would
here.
assume so. Yes.
And the sets.
Yeah.
And
actors.
Yeah, I mean nobody's a colossal act. Probably the biggest name is Channing Tatum.
Possibly, yeah.
And maybe Haley Joel Osment, but he's.
I was going to say Christian Slater before Haley Joel, but okay.
No, they're kind of probably neck and neck right now. Actors of yesteryear.
I like Aaliyah Shawkat. Is that how you say her name?
Which one is she?
She's Jess, the friend, the lighter.
She appears on a lot of stuff, but we always
confuse her with the girl from Broad City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. All right, I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Whose selection was this?
I
think we
were yelling at you to put on the movie after you said, "Oh, just one more trailer."
Well, I would like to give people options.
Yeah, well, this was the only option. The rest of them were corny and yeah.
We're gonna watch some of those corny movies later, so
prepare yourself.
All right, I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. I'm going to start with the young women at the table. Olivia, would you care to share your impressions of the film, Blink Twice?
There's 4 fingers. Okay, bro. That's how it's supposed to be.
What was the question?
What did you think of the film? Just generally. Did you hate it? Did you like it?
It was a good movie.
Was it exciting?
Kinda.
Okay. Did you find it interesting?
Yeah, I felt bad for them.
Yes. Do we want to spoil this? I mean, it's from last year. How do we feel?
Last year, don't spoil it.
Yeah, let's see if we can get by without giving away too much.
Because the end piece, when you're finally presented with what exactly is going on, is very unsettling.
Yeah, I mean it's not super graphic, but
it's not. But
it's graphic enough that you know what's happening, and it's upsetting.
Yes.
I mean it's upsetting subject matter. Even the beginning of the movie, before anything happens, they put that trigger warning up.
Yes.
Describing that this is a film that depicts sexual assault and
power
and all this other stuff.
Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you, filmmakers. Thank you, Zoe Kravitz. The trigger warning is so important. I think that it's not up for very long, but it helps people make decisions about whether they want to continue with this watch. One of the trailers that I was showing my children for competition, I guess for selection for the movie watch experience, I actually had to stop because I started crying. So I think it's very important to have these trigger warnings because you just don't know where people are emotionally. And I think that because of the subject matter in this particular story, which is very unsettling, and once you find out what it is, the story really ramps up from there. Did you have a favorite character, Olive G?
Probably like Frida or the other lady.
Her friend Jess?
No.
Oh,
the girl
one
that got the gun.
Sarah, I think.
Sarah, right?
Yeah,
the one that had been on Survivor.
Survivor Babes, or whatever the hell.
Yeah, she was cool. Why did you like Sarah?
She actually believed Frida until they're like, oh yeah, no, I feel the same too.
It's good when women work together instead of against each other. Gee, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was pretty good. It was really, really long, and that took away from it. I didn't look at my phone, but that was just because it was kind of far from me. I think that if I was given the opportunity, I probably would have. So, yeah, they should have shaved down some time, but I guess the ending does redeem it somewhat because it was good. I thought that the plot twist or sort of reveal of what was happening was pretty nicely done. Yeah, it was a good film.
I 100% agree with you. It's funny. We previously saw The Substance, which is 2 hours and 21 minutes, much longer than this, and yet better paced. And the storytelling on there is just chef's kiss. Here, while it was interesting, the pacing just ruins, I think, the storytelling experience. I mean,
yeah, you have to get through. I mean, I think we paused it and we were about... We were about 50 minutes in, and there was 50 minutes to go.
Yeah, and we were like, wait, what?
I was convinced that because we had spent so much time with these characters just running around, eating, drinking, having fun, I was like, okay, this is the beginning montage that usually lasts maybe 10 minutes. It was 50 goddamn minutes of setup.
That 50 minutes should have been half an hour.
Yeah, we should have gotten to the part where something happens. And then it was after that point that her friend is basically says something's not right, which leads to finally, which led to like, okay, well, let's figure out what's not right. Oh my God, this is happening. Okay, well, we got to do something about that. That should have been way earlier. That should have been like 20 minutes earlier than what we got.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what hurts it overall because it's like I mentioned, it's shot
really
nice. Very pretty movie. Everybody's doing a good job. Every character seems very unique.
It's an interesting script. It's an
interesting script,
premise.
An interesting premise, and it wraps up in a decent way.
Yeah, I didn't see the ending coming.
Yeah, some people won't see the ending coming at all. Some people maybe they won't think the ending is right or moral or something like that or whatever. Or some people will not be like, there should have been more comeuppance or maybe. But at the end of it all, I was satisfied.
Same.
The only thing that will drag any score I give this down would be the pacing, the slow beginning. Yeah. If you could make it past those first 50 minutes,
you're golden.
You're good. Yeah. You're in for an entertaining ride. But
yeah, I'm trying to remember from where we paused it, if somebody could just pick it up from there and just watch the film to enjoy it, because I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep. I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
And we watched this earlier in the day.
It was just taking so damn long.
It took so damn long. But I agree with you. I mean, the production values, the sets, the cinematography, all of it was really well done. The actors were all really great, even the ones that don't have much whatever. Yeah. But yeah, the pacing is what destroys the film from
I wouldn't say destroy it. It hurts.
It hampers the film from getting a higher grade. Gee, did you have a favorite character in the story?
Frida.
Frida? Why'd you like Frida so much?
Maybe because she was just the main character and I felt the most for her.
Okay. What did you think about Sarah?
She was all right.
Yeah. What did you think about Jess?
She was all right, too.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was going to be in the film for as long as she was, to be honest, from the trailer.
Fair.
I'm surprised you like Frida so much. You didn't find her like fanboying over Slater King off-putting?
Not really. I mean,
she was just like staring at him and.
Yeah, she's a fan. That's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
I figured that would be a mark for you for you.
I think to G's point, that was the character that she enjoyed the most. I don't know if she's gonna say like the best female characters of 2024. I doubt she would pick Frida.
No.
But yeah, I think just in this story, I think her strongest character preference would be Frida.
Okay.
But I agree with you. Her fangirling was a little icky.
It was like over the top.
It was over the top. But
I guess it kind of made sense.
There are way worse people out there.
I'm sure.
She was
you know what? You're right.
She was acting so tame, just staring from afar. She had like a little crush on him or something.
Which I don't get, but whatever. I've never gotten into Channing Tatum, but to each their own.
Exactly.
I mean, don't go by me. My first big celebrity crush was Elvis Costello, so.
Yeah, he looks like Groucho Marx.
Shut your ass. Shut your ass.
I love Elvis Costello, but let's be honest there. He looks like Groucho Marx.
No, he doesn't. How dare you. What do you think of the film? As the only man in the table. What are your impressions of this film?
It's an affront to the manosphere.
Don't you start with that. Oh my God. You know what? Sidebar. I can't stop thinking about adolescence.
Yeah, that was
wow. Yeah. I highly recommend that, viewers.
That is also on Netflix.
Did we see this on Netflix?
I don't know. I looked it up and I said it was not on Netflix.
I saw. Yeah, I looked on IMDb.
That's right. We saw this on Prime.
We saw this on Prime. Okay.
But Adolescence was on
Netflix. Right.
Okay. Tangent over. I like this movie. I would have liked it a lot more if they would have just gotten to it earlier.
Quicker. Yeah.
I feel like there was just way too much wasted time in the beginning, leading up to the initial gala event, at the gala event, at the island, partying on the island. It was literally like 50 minutes of setup, and I think they could have handled that a bit more efficiently, especially considering even though it was 50 minutes of setup, they were still using sort of like a montage style of doing it where it's just like, oh, look, we're running. Oh, now we're eating food. Oh, we're drinking champagne. Here's a raspberry in your champagne again. It was monotonous.
Yeah.
The amount of, this is great. This is too good to be true. Yes, I understand it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
You've gotten that point across to me. Let's find out why it's too good to be true. And finally it happens with that snake bite on her friend and just I think even before that her friend was a little freaked out and she was a little there were unnerving elements sprinkled in few and far between. The old lady, Red Rabbit.
Oh my gosh, that was wild.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
I hated Stan, the guard.
Stan the guard. Yeah, he was a
piece of shit.
He was just so cool with what was going on. Just no feelings whatsoever. Just say, I'll get my paycheck. I don't care what you're doing. Yeah. I mean, all
the men were
the men except for that one guy were just reprehensible scum.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
You mean
the guy with the black eye?
The super young one.
The very young one, the guy who's like, I want to be the king of crypto, or whatever the hell he said. The Elon Musk of crypto.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
I don't know.
That's Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's son.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They have a son?
They have a son. Yeah, they have a daughter, too.
I've heard about their daughter. I did not know that the son exists. I could see it, though.
Yeah.
All right.
He looks like his mother.
You know what? There was something very familiar about his face, and I could see it now.
Levon Hawke.
Yvonne. Yvonne. Okay. But yeah, I would have liked this better had it just gotten to the actual meat of the story a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. To everybody's point at the table, the productions were really great. The cinematography, I love the soundtrack. Yeah, I mean, it had so much going for it. But it's just that it just meandered too much at the whatever point. I mean, it just... Yeah, there was just too much setup. It should have been condensed. This is a horror film or a thriller. I don't know what... It could go under either banner, I suppose. But unless you're doing like Ari Aster horror or The Substance kind of horror, like this really needs to be within that 80 to 90, 95 minute mark. Like beyond that, unless you have a killer script, it's gonna suffer.
I would probably say I wouldn't compare it to those two because like that those are also like Ari Aster. It's a slow burn, but there's enough there that it never gets dull. Right. It's just you're always kind of ratcheting up the tension. Just
right. Well, I think
every little bit. You're always ratcheting up the tension. And for this, I don't feel that it was like a constant slow rise of tension. It was just, all right, they're partying. I'm not depicting anything sinister at this particular moment. And this particular moment is like 5 entire minutes.
Something probably more than 5.
Well, I'm talking about each moment. Yeah. It's sort of like you stack those up and it's just suddenly a half hour has passed and you're just like, okay, what's going on? Why am I not feeling any different?
Well, I think my comparison was in the fact that I feel like this is sort of psychological horror or thriller, whatever you want to say, but it's definitely that. And I think that other filmmakers or storytellers do it a little bit better. I think here, not to take away from what she's done, but again, the editor should have really pulled this together a little bit more. Yeah. I feel like it was the editor's job to say, you know what? I think it would work better if you did X, Y, and Z, because the editor, I mean, the filmmaker's telling the story, but the editor plays a crucial part of that storytelling because they're the ones chopping up all the footage to weave this cohesive storytelling experience. And here I feel like, I don't know if the editor didn't want to say anything or something or whatever. I think that this, again, to everybody's point, this could have benefited from being just a little bit pulled more together and shortened and streamlined. And I think that would have had more of an impact because I think that the themes being discussed here are very important, very, very important. But it didn't feel like it was presented in a way, to your point, how when Ari Aster does something, it doesn't feel like it's dragging because there's something constant always going on. And it's just your anxiety is constantly being tested and elevated throughout the film.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's nothing wasted.
Yeah. All right. I think I've said everything I need to say. I think this is still a worthwhile watch. I think that for a first film, Zoe Kravitz did a really, really good job. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I would give this a 6. What do you say?
I, too, would give it a 6. I probably would have given it a 7 or higher.
If
the beginning didn't drag so much.
1 to 10.
I'd still give it a 7.
Okay.
I hate long movies, but this was still pretty good. I feel like it's more than a 6 in my opinion.
Okay, fair.
6, 7.
Olive G, 1 to 10.
You were about to say 1 to 6.
I was gonna say 1 to 6.
I'd probably also give this a 7 because I didn't really mind the beginning that much.
All right. It was a fun watch. It was a fun watch with kind of a fun watch for a very heavy topic. Again, this is a weighty theme.
Yeah. If the trigger warning is about stuff that bothers you a lot,
then be careful going into this.
Be careful going in. As I mentioned, it's not graphic. This isn't like an exploitation sort of type film or filmed in an exploitation type style.
But it's
what you're seeing, like the way everything is presented, is sort of like somebody snapping out of something and remembering slivers, and they briefly flash those slivers, and there's things that trigger those slivers of memory to come. And I mean, well done as far as that respect goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if certain things of that nature could affect you in a very negative way,
please
watch
be
with
mindful.
caution.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this while we were watching it, but again, kudos Zoe Kravitz. I mean, it's to be a first time filmmaker to try to tackle such a heavy theme is very impressive. And I also loved how she wears her influences on her sleeve, whether it's the look of the film, the music in the film, and I feel like there's part of an activist soul in Zoe Kravitz, so that comes through as well. She is a female filmmaker and actress and all those other hyphenated things, and I think that also comes through in the story. She has a very good eye and an interesting way of, I guess, telling this story, because again, it didn't feel like a cookie cutter film. I felt like this was told in a very distinctive way, and I can see influences of other films and things in this. So I appreciated that. And I would love to see more from her. I think that this is a great first start. It's not perfect, but whatever. I think you always want to grow and learn and better yourself, be better than you were the day before. So kudos to Zoe Kravitz on her first major film out there. Okay, so that's it from us. And again, Blink Twice, currently streaming on Prime Video. Also MGM Plus, rated R. This has, it's tagged as psychological thriller, whodunit, mystery thriller. But I think we should also say trigger warning to people that have suffered from sexual assault. Yeah. This is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 42 minutes as we close out Women's History Month. Kudos to all the women directors. We salute you. And with that, we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
good night.